Okay, the next thing we'll cover around interfaces is that we can use optional properties, or we can create optional properties in the same way that we can do that for an object type using a type alias. So it just looks like this. Let's say I'm making an interface called person, and a person has to have a first name, which is a string, and a last name, which is a string, and then maybe they'll have a nickname that's optional, and it's a string. And to make it optional, to tell TypeScript that it's optional, we use the question mark right there. So before the type, right? Before that annotation, nickname now may be present or it may not, but we won't get an error. So now when I make a new object, let's go with Thomas. Thomas equals, and he's going to be an object. And let's just make it clear that he is of the person interface. He must have a first, Thomas. He must have a last, Thomas Hardy, and then his nickname is Tom Hardy. There we go. But I could also leave that off, of course, and no errors. However, I leave off last or I change the type, I'm going to get a lovely error from TypeScript telling me property last is missing, and it's required. But nickname is not required. We can also use the read-only modifier that we saw. So maybe a person has an ID that's a number. Oops. And we don't want that ID to be able to change. I can put read-only in front of it. We've already seen this. I'm just showing it in the context of an interface. So now when I create this person, I have to say ID is, whatever that is. And then I can come over here and change Thomas to be, Thomas.first. It can be whatever I want. But Thomas.ID cannot be changed. And I'll get a complaint. Cannot assign to ID because it is a read-only property. So I can set it when I'm initializing, right? When I'm creating my object, I just can't go back and change it. So same exact concept. We've seen these words, or we've seen this syntax before, but not in the context of an interface.